Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Saswatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading Srimad Bhagavad-Gita as it is, chapter number 18, slok number 3 and 4. Today we will read slok number 3 and 4. So please repeat after me. Tyajyam doshavat iti eke karma prahur manishinaha. Tyajyam doshavat iti eke karma. Not like that. It is Tyajyam doshabad iti eke karma prahur manishinaha. Yajna dana tapa karma na tajyam iti cha apare. Tyajyam must be given up. Doshavat as an evil. Iti does. Eke one group. Karma work. Prahu they say. Manishinaha great thinkers. Yajna of sacrifice. Dana charity. Tapaha and penance. Karma works. No never. Tyajyam are to be given up. Iti does. Cha and apare others. Some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty. Yet another sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity and penance should never be abandoned. Purport. There are many activities in the Vedic literature which are subjects of contention. For instance, it is said that an animal can be killed in a sacrifice. Yet some maintain that animal killing is completely abominable. Although animal killing in a sacrifice is recommended in the Vedic literature, the animal is not considered to be killed. The sacrifice is to give a new life to the animal. Sometimes the animal is given a new animal life after being killed in the sacrifice. And sometimes the animal is promoted immediately to the human form of life. But there are different opinions among the sages. Some say that animal killing should always be avoided, and others say that for a specific sacrifice it is good. All these different opinions on sacrificial activity are now being clarified by the Lord Himself. Slok number 4. Nichayang srinu me tatra tyage bharata sattam tyago hi purusha vyaghra trividha samprakirtita. O best of the Bharatas, now hear my judgment about renunciation. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of 3 kinds. So I'll read the purport here. Although there are differences of opinion about renunciation, here the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, gives His judgment, which should be taken as final. After all, the Vedas are different laws given by the Lord. Here the Lord is personally present, and His words should be taken as final. The Lord says that the process of renunciation should be considered in terms of the modes of material nature in which they are performed. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Sakhyuruन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्. So, His Grace Bhuvaneshwar Prabhu wanted me to speak because he just ordered me, that's why I am trying. I'm just representing him. And last time also we discussed from the 17th chapter. Also before then that we also discussed something from 16th chapter. So here this particular chapter is a kind of the conclusion of the whole Bhagavad-Gita. But like some of the slokas from the beginning will be like continued from like the before chapters, like it's all about related in 3 modes of material nature, and it's like it is said in the 16th chapter that for purification, for satta samsuddhi, for purification, the yajna, dana, tapasya, so these things are there. These are for satta samsuddhi, so that one swadhyaya, like that. So these are very much related to jnana, very much related to jnana yoga, renunciation, and then moksha ultimately. First 6 chapters The karma is very nicely discussed, and the conclusion is also given. The karma should be dedicated to Lord. Then it is not pure bhakti, but it is karma misrita bhakti. Actually, karma is not bhakti. Karma binds a living entity in this material world. Karma doesn't liberate. Karma doesn't give anyone actually any permanent happiness. Permanent happiness is possible when the living entity is liberated from the material body, from the whole material nature. But the living entities are part and parcel of Krishna, Vivinnangsha. So, the living entities, they are conscious. They are counted amongst the energies of Lord as Tatastha Shakti. Because they are part and parcel of Krishna, Vivinnangsha, they are Chid, conscious. Chid Anu. They are called Chid Anu also. So they are conscious. So these living entities are conscious. That's why higher than the dull matter, higher than the material nature. And because the living entities are conscious, so they have that kind of independence. They have an independent will. They are conscious. Like Lord Himself. The difference is Lord is Vibhu, like the sun, and the Jiva is like the ray of sun. Anu. But the same characteristics, like the Jiva also had that independence. So the Jiva have the choice. Jiva can look for his happiness being with Krishna, or he may try to independently enjoy the Krishna's inferior energy, which is Maya, material nature. So when Jiva chooses to exploit the material nature, so they are Baddha Jiva. So they are doing that from eternally. So in this material world, the Jivas are eternally bounded. But Jivas are there as Krishna Parishad in the spiritual world. So Krishna is very merciful. Those who are with Krishna, they are in permanent happiness, full of bliss, full of knowledge, Siddhanandamoy, Sat Siddhanandamoy. But those who are in the material nature, they are conditioned. They forget Krishna. They forget even themselves, who they are. They, out of illusion, out of ignorance, out of the influence, because of the influence of the material energy, they forget their real identity, that they are Jiva. So they identify themselves with the body they get from the material nature. So this is a very precarious condition of the Jiva in this material world. And then the Jivas are desiring in a different way to enjoy different things. And Lord is providing them different bodies of material nature. Jiva cannot get a material body by himself, whatever he wants. Because Jiva cannot control, because Jiva is also a Shakti, is energy. He is not Purusha. The Jivas are not Purusha. Out of ignorance they think they themselves to be Purusha, that's another thing. But constitutionally they are Prakriti. Jiva is Prakriti. Jivas are Prakriti. So, there is, I cannot enjoy actually material nature. Also, Jiva cannot control material nature. Jiva just desires, and then super soul, Paramatma, orders Prakriti, the external energy, Maya, to provide him whatever he needs. So sanctions, Paramatma sanctions, that's how the Jiva gets his whatever he needs or whatever he desires. This is the science. So, Paramatma is the controller of his energy, his external energy. This is how things are going on. But how we can understand all these things if I am under illusion, under the material nature, under the three modes of material nature? How I can understand that these things are, how I can, that's what I have spoken, this, how I can understand this. So that's why to know the condition of the living entity, where he is, who he is, in what condition he is, what he is supposed to do, what should be his goal, what should be his duties and everything, Lord himself gives this knowledge. First of all, he creates the whole material, in this whole material nature, he creates the universes as Paramatma, as Mahavishnu, then he expands as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, then again he expands as Paramatma, as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, he expands to each and every living entity. And being with all the living entities, he educates them. Being Paramatma, he educates them from inside, and he propagates the Vedic knowledge. It is said in 15th chapter, 15.15. What is that? Huh? Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto jnanam apohanam cha sarvair aham eva vedya Vedanta krit veda vidaiva chaham. That means the Vedanta means this whole Vedic literature, and then conclusion of that is compiled by Lord himself, is given by Lord himself. For what? So that living entities, they can understand. And from inside as Paramatma also he guides, he helps to understand. He said, Mattaha smritir jnanam apohanam sa. So jnana also, the smriti, the remembrance and the knowledge. So he provides to the living entity. So this is, Lord himself, he is very merciful. He's very merciful. And because the jivas are his Vibhinnangsha, that's why jivas, they have chosen as a wrong path for happiness. So that's why Lord helps them to come out from that path, and Lord tries to bring them to the right path so that they can become eternally happy, being with Lord. So that's why Lord is very merciful. So Lord's mercy is counted in two ways. Like when he is giving the bodies to the different bodies to the living entities, to the jivas, according to their different desires, different bodies. So that is also one kind of mercy to the living entities. What kind of mercy? That living entity desires to get happiness by this way, that way, enjoying separately from Krishna. So Lord provides them. Lord provides them. So, but that is not actually real mercy. That is not actually, just like that the child want some this and that, which may not be very good for his health. But his father will say, no, I will not give you that. But when the child is desiring that so much, he is crying, then okay, then you take. So it's lots like that. But that is not real mercy. Real mercy is that you don't eat this. This will cause disease. So that's actually real mercy. But the jiva is not ready. That child is not ready yet to accept that. So for some time you have to please him by giving that. So it is like that. So Lord is very merciful. So He educates. So first 6 chapters actually very much describes Hare Krishna. So first 6 chapters describes very much about the karma yoga. Karma yoga means the living entities are prescribed some duties to get their desired bhoga, enjoyments. So Lord created this world and then given the facilities to the jivas, giving them prescriptions, do this, and then you will get your desired things. But this is for the human beings. There are 84 lakhs different species of life, but the highest are the human beings, and for the human beings, Lord, amongst human beings also there is the most civilized one who follows the varnashram system, which is actually God-given. And in the varnashram system, according to the Vedic literatures, they follow karma. They do, according to Lord's arrangement, they do different yajna, different brata, different tapasya, all these things to get their fruitive results. So this is like Lord's arrangement. And then Lord has another purpose to educate the living entities to get out from this material nature and get liberated. For that, Lord incarnates, He Himself incarnates, He propagates the knowledge, He gives the bhakti-yoga, He attracts by His activities, He attracts the jivas. This is how He is actually very, very merciful. But the jivas, those who can appreciate, who can understand His mercy, then they are eligible to associate with Lord. They are eligible to get out from this material condition and go back to the eternal world, to associate with Lord, serve Lord, and then be eternally happy there. So karma basically is not the path to liberate himself to the spiritual world, like the karma itself. But if karma is added with bhakti, then it is karma yoga, karma mishrita bhakti. When it is karma mishrita bhakti, that purifies and create faith, unalloyed faith for bhakti, pure bhakti. And by pure bhakti only one can completely purify himself, and he can understand who he is, that he is a jiva, he is a part and parcel of Krishna, and he is actually a servant, eternal servant of Krishna. So by knowing that, he serves Lord, and by that he can go back, he can get love for Lord, and then ultimately he can go back to Lord. And this is how, again, there is also in the Vedic scriptures, like there are Upanishads, there is Vedanta, and that part is for moksha, not for getting bhoga, to enjoy. That is basically to renounce, to understand the temporary nature of this material world, and to ultimately renounce this, purify himself and then renounce everything and to liberate himself. Mukti. So that's related to tyag. So last 6 chapters are very much related to this jnana, means ultimately moksha. So through jnana one can get moksha, jnana process. But when by the austerity, by yajna, by dana, by tapasya, by brata, by swadhyay, one purifies himself, he may create unalloyed faith for devotion. And devotion is the path which is actually completely discussed, like little more elaborately discussed, its glory in the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad-Gita. And it is concluded that Krishna said, Manmana bhava mad bhakto mad jajimam namaskuru. He said, just get absorbed in my thoughts. That is like the highest one. Be my devotee, worship me, and pay obeisances to me. So this is the highest instruction of Krishna within the whole Bhagavad Gita, and this is the highest knowledge, the most confidential knowledge Krishna has given in Bhagavad Gita. He said that Manmana bhava mad bhakto mad jajimam namaskuru mameva eshyasi, means you will attain me. So this is through bhakti. So bhakti process is that. But for bhakti process is actually the highest path. So this, amongst these 3 paths, also there is, it's like karma, jnana, yoga, and bhakti. So these are the paths for uplifting. But the karma by itself is binding, cannot liberate. Jnana can liberate, and Ashtanga Yoga can give knowledge, and can through Ashtanga Yoga one can have the realization of Paramatma, Lord, with his form. But through Jnana Yoga he can get a liberation, is kind of a Brahma Jnana he can get. He can understand the supreme truth as Brahma, impersonal Brahma. But that's not enough to go to the spiritual world. He have to be trained up to love the supreme personality of Godhead and serve him. Then he can go back. So that is called bhakti. That training is called bhakti. But to get that training, to take that training, one need faith. So it starts from faith. So bhakti is actually based on faith. But karma and jnana, they also need some faith. Faith on Vedic literatures, then only they will follow according to what Vedic literature is saying, to do this yajna, that yajna, for to get there, whatever they need. For Gyan also they have to have faith on the Upanishads, the Vedanta, and this is how they have to go. But for Bhakti, they have to have faith that that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Jiva is the eternal servant. And Jiva should surrender to Krishna and love him and do loving service. So these need faith, unalloyed faith. So this faith is not simply one cannot get that faith. So this faith is actually by Agyata Sukriti someone can get, There are three different kind of sukriti: karmonmukhi, bhogomukhi sukriti, mokshamukhi sukriti, and bhaktinmukhi sukriti. So that's like serving some pure devotee, or that's like hearing from some pure devotee, or doing some unknowingly some service to the pure devotee, or like attending Harinam Sankirtan, like that kind of some agyata, unknowingly someone create agyata sukriti, unknowingly he has created that pious credit for bhakti. This is how he get the association of a devotee first. And in the association of devotee he hears, and by that hearing he purify himself. Because the association of devotee, whatever is discussed, that sound vibration is transcendental, that is pure, that is out of material nature. So it purifies and it creates faith. So more association with pure devotees, the more faith. More association of pure devotees, strong faith. And then when one living entity gets strong faith, and he is also enlightened more and more by the association of devotees, then that's how he understands who he is, who Lord is, and his relationship with Lord. Then he then he surrenders, and by surrender he do pure bhakti. By doing pure bhakti, he elevates himself. This is the process. So this 18th chapter is more about, like saying about the moksha. But in one point Krishna will say that now I am going to tell you the most confidential knowledge. And he is going to repeat that same instruction what is said in the 9th chapter at the end. What is that sloka? Again, manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. That same sloka he again said, by doing that you will come to me. So he again repeated that, and he said that this is, before that, one sloka he said that Krishna says that I'm going to tell you the most confidential knowledge now. So this is the most confidential knowledge. What is that? That manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. This is the most confidential knowledge. And there are so much of, when we meditate and hear from the realized and advanced devotees about the meaning and purport of these slokas, then we understand the higher and higher meanings. It's about bhakti, but even bhakti also, it's like manmana bhava means, it's like the highest one, just like the gopis and the brajavasis are completely absorbed in thinking about Krishna. That's kind of manmana bhava. So then little word is like, okay, it's become my devotee, he is surrendered and he is serving. So like that, may not be that much absorbed, or otherwise it is not that much, okay, worship, he is at least doing worship, knowing Lord to be the supreme, or at least that much also he is not doing, at least doing namaskar, is paying obeisances, is Lord. Just like the Muslims, they say Allahu Akbar and then they pay obeisances. It's like that. So this is also one step forward to ultimately go to the manmana bhava level. But this is bhakti. The process is bhakti, actually. When there is a recognition that there is the Supreme Lord, it is the best when he knows that that Supreme Lord is Krishna himself. But he doesn't know also, but he knows that there is one Supreme God, and I am like kind of the servant of him, so I should be paying obeisances to him, I should be depending on him. So that kind of knowledge is also bhakti, some level of bhakti. But the pure bhakti and the highest level of bhakti is like the manmana bhava, the braja bhakti, which Lord is actually teaching by coming himself in the form of Lord Chaitanya. So by the mercy of Lord Krishna in the form of Lord Chaitanya, we are actually able to understand that we are jivas and we are Krishna Das, and we should be surrendering to Krishna, and then by surrendering to Krishna, we will be releasing the happiness of serving Krishna. Krishna Daisya Seva Sukh. Krishna Daisya Seva Sukh. So that we will be able to release. So this is the conclusion ultimately. So after that, Krishna will say that Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Braja in this chapter. Then he will say Brahmabhuta Prasannatma Na Susati Na Kamsati. So all these Brahmabhuta Prasannatma Na Susati Na Kamsati Samah Sarvesu Bhutesu Mad Bhakti Lavate Param, even that also is a Brahmabhuta stage. He have not yet entered in bhakti. If he is in Brahmabhuta platform also, he have to have association with his Brahmabhuta, so he is free from the material nature, but he have to be attracted to the transcendental name, qualities, form and leelas of Lord. Then he will surrender and then he will do seva, and that is actually the entrance to devotional service, and then that is the entrance to the spiritual world. So Brahmabhuta Prasannatma, that is also like when someone is doing Sarva Dharman Parityajya. It's like whatever kind of the karma. Karma means dharma. Karma is actually dharma. Prescribed duties are called. So but here immediately one should not simply renounce. So why immediately one should not renounce everything? The renunciation is actually the renunciation of the jnanis are actually a different kind of renunciation. That's like they don't know that actually everything can be utilized for Krishna's service. So then there is nothing to renounce. So that understanding is given by the Vaishnava Acharyas. Rupa Goswami has given the Yukta Vairagya, the concept of Yukta Vairagya. So actually the Tyag. So that's why different scholars, different philosophers, different rishis, so they are saying different way. Some are saying that fruitive activities should be given up because this is faulty, because it binds someone in this material world, so it should be given up. And some are saying that sacrifice, charity, penance should never be abandoned. So why? So that means that there are some philosophers who advocate karma yoga, because their understanding from the Vedic literature is only karma. They have not yet reached the higher level of jnana kandas about this. So they will say karma is no, so these things are prescribed, so you should do all this. So they will say that. Then there is Vedanta, Uttaramimamsa. So especially the compilation of Vedanta is the summary of the Upanishads. Those are compiled as sutras, as Vedanta sutras. So there it will be like more saying that karma should be totally given up. And in bhakti, actually karma transformed to bhakti. It no longer remains karma when it is completely done for the pleasure of Krishna. Everything is dedicated for Krishna, everything is done for Krishna. So that no longer remain karma, that become bhakti. First of all, there is some attachment to the karma. So then it is like kind of karma yoga, little bit, just But there will be some time when everything will be dedicated. He will not even hanker for the fruits, nothing. He will not even be attached to the karma even. So that does no longer remain karma. So actually this explanation is not very proper. Vaishnava Acharyas has given much more clear and proper explanations about bhakti. Bhakti is completely free from karma and jnana. Completely free from karma and jnana. It's not dependent on karma and jnana. But karma and jnana is dependent on bhakti to give something tangible result, some permanent result. If karma and jnana is not related to bhakti, then karma and jnana cannot give any permanent result. Just like the karma cannot give even moksha also. But jnana is giving moksha, but that moksha is actually not enough, because that is not a real self-realization as Krishna's eternal servant. So there is no practice of service, loving service to the Lord. There is no proper realization of the Supreme Lord as Paramatma and even Bhagavan. So there's only realization of the Supreme as Brahma. So that's Gyan. So that is so these two processes are very weak. Very weak to get actually real mercy of Lord. So bhakti is, that's why, propagated by Lord Himself, and this is a special mercy of Lord in this Kali Yuga. This Kali Yuga is every Yuga there is bhakti, but in Kali Yuga there is very special thing which is offered by Lord Himself, that is prema bhakti. Bhakti in the form of awe and reverence and getting the liberation of 5 kind of liberations, that is also there, but the prema bhakti, the braja bhakti, that is a very very special gift of Lord Krishna, and He Himself is giving this, coming as Lord Chaitanya. It is very rare. That's why it is said that anarpita charim chirat karunaya vatirna kalau. That special mercy of Lord, which is actually giving the prema bhakti, braja bhakti to the Lord, that is was not given before. So Lord He Himself is coming and He is now giving. So because of having Lord Chaitanya's, this Krishna Himself is Lord Chaitanya, now here He is giving this knowledge to Arjuna. And we find in Bhagavatam He is giving knowledge as Kapila Deva. He is giving this knowledge to Mother Devahuti. And then He is also giving this knowledge even more elaborately also to Uddhava. So we find, so these are all Gita. Krishna, Arjuna Sangbad, Kapila Devahuti Sangbad, and then there Krishna Uddhava Sangbad. So he is giving the knowledge of bhakti. But the same knowledge is much more practically given by Krishna in the form of Lord Chaitanya, when he is teaching to Srila Rupa Goswami, to Srila Sanatana Goswami, his direct disciples. So because of that teachings, it is actually made easy. That's why we are able to understand Bhagavad-Gita. Otherwise, why so many people they describe in so many different ways? Because without bhakti, one cannot understand the real purport of Bhagavad-Gita, that Krishna is actually saying, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. Krishna is actually giving that instruction to be the highest instruction. So that's why different people get bewildered. Just like in modern time, there are so many philosophers, scholars, just like Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he is explaining Bhagavad-Gita in the karma way. This karma is the thing. So Bhagavad-Gita teaches karma like that. So someone is, Aurobindo is saying like something like jnana, and then and then all these things. And also there is Mayavada schools, so they even misleads. So it's very difficult to understand Bhagavad-Gita. And by the mercy of Lord, their pure devotees explains. That's why we have a Guru Parampara, and then these pure Vaishnavas has explained, given their commentaries to understand the real purport. The real purport of Bhagavad-Gita is actually pure devotional service. That is manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. But unless and until we hear from a devotee, we associate with devotee, we don't have even faith, and we don't understand anything about, because all these are all related to Lord's internal potency, which is free from external energy, free from the modes of material nature. This actually, one can understand all these things in a liberated platform, or because this is Chid Shakti, Chid Vaibhav. So Chid Vaibhav is not touchable by in a cheat condition, in a conditioned state, materially conditioned state. So that's why the sacrifice, charity, penances, this should be maintained by those who have not yet surrendered to Lord, not yet create enough faith to surrender to Lord. But somebody is surrendered to Lord, then his important thing is to do sadhana bhakti. 9 kinds of sadhana bhakti. Surrender to Lord and do sadhana bhakti. Sravanam, kirtanam, smaranam, bandhanam, like that. 9 kinds of devotional service. Basically, so among these 9 kinds of devotional service also, like the chanting of the holy name is very important. Basically the chanting, hearing chanting and remembering is the most important. And actually what chanting and what hearing and about what remembering. So about Lord, the Supreme Lord, Krishna. There are so many things, actually we need to hear so much. Then we know more and more. We know about Krishna. Even the Krishna. So Krishna's name, form, qualities, his transcendental pastimes. So there are so many. So all these things should be heard, should be chanted, and should be remembered. But foremost is the name. And so this is the way. So Lord Chaitanya made easy that everyone can do devotion, although it is like very high, still anyone can do devotion. How? By chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Lord's holy name. So this is what Lord is given. But if someone doesn't have any faith, why he will chant? But the devotees are chanting. The pure devotees are chanting, and somebody that hears that. Just by hearing that, he get a Ajnata Sukriti. And because of that Ajnata Sukriti, he get faith. Then he can chant. So that's why this propagation of the holy name is actually the propagation of bhakti. So it's a very nice process. And Kali Yuga, because it is very fallen time, everywhere there is a sin, and there is no proper administration, there is no proper education. So everywhere there is mismanagement, sinful activities. So people are very much fallen, absorbed in sinful activities, very much tightly conditioned by the material nature. So that's a very strong process is given. Chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So we are very fortunate to be in this, in Sri Vrindavan Dham, especially to have the darshan of Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Lalita Vishakha, Shri Shri Krishna Balaram, Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga, and to hear the holy name. Everything is here. And this holy name, the dust of this Vrindavan Dham is purifying. The desired trees are there. So everything is there in Vrindavan. So many nice devotees are there, especially in ISKCON. So we are very fortunate to be here. And we are trying to understand this Srimad Bhagavad-Gita by the mercy of the Vaishnava Acharyas. Especially the mercy is given by Krishna in the form of Lord Chaitanya, and Prabhupada made it very much available to everyone. So we are very, very fortunate to come in touch with Srila Prabhupada. Jai Grantara Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki, Jai Samavata Bhakta Vrinda ki. Anybody like to ask some question? Prabhu is always asking question.
And we see in this Bhagavad-Gita, this shloka is saying that you should give up the desires and just chant Hare Krishna and do the bhakti. So bhakti we are bringing Bhagavad-Gita, and Krishna is explaining everything to Arjuna. Karma yoga, Jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, so many things is explaining. He is explaining that Arjuna could understand something. But at the end, when he see that he is confused, then he is telling him that Sarva Dharman Paita Jai. Forget whatever I have told you, just surrender to me and I will deliver you. So can you say something on this?
Yes, yes. Actually, it's not like that. It's not like that Arjuna is still confused. Actually, Arjuna's confusion was completely over when he prayed Krishna that Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Param Bhavan in 10th chapter, right? Right after that Chatusloki Gita. So there everything ends, all confusion ends, and then he accepted Krishna, he understood Krishna. Then after that he asked to show him the opulences, to show him the universal form. That is different. That is actually for others. And also these last chapters, these are all related to jnana. These are also kind of, for those who cannot understand. So just to elevate them through the jnana process. Let them understand there is material nature. Let them understand there is 3 modes of material nature. So all these things. So actually he was not confused till that when he said. And he said that Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Raja. That is actually, that is said just to nullify. The karma is not going to elevate you. And then after that he also said Brahmabhuta Prasannatma Nasusati Nakangsa. That also actually one sense by becoming Brahmabhuta even you will be getting bhakti only. But when he said Manmana Bhava Mad Bhaktamad Jajimam Namaskuru, he said in 9th chapter only. But that he again repeated. But that was the highest one, because that is his completely engagement in the service. Starting from the Namaskuru, then worshipping, then becoming he is completely devoted to him, and then highest is completely getting absorbed. So that's like Prabhupada is saying, chant Hare Krishna, and Krishna is not saying chant Hare Krishna and all this, right? But why Prabhupada is saying, this is the very, very special mercy of the Acharya that they give us how we should understand practically, so that we can really understand what is the meaning of Bhagavad-Gita. So without the help of the Acharyas, the previous Acharyas, bona fide Acharyas, it is impossible to understand Bhagavad-Gita. That's why this whoever doesn't have that the mercy of the Acharyas, so they explain in so many ways.
Krishna is not saying that you chant my name Hare Krishna.
No, not like Krishna is saying, like he is giving the knowledge of karma yoga, right? So it is the Acharya who is giving the real purport. By ourselves we understand this is related to karma. or this is related to Gyan. But that is explained by the Acharya actually in a way so that he is actually negating that this is not the thing. Ultimately, there is higher than this, is higher than this, is ultimately you have to go to bhakti. So Prabhupada will actually nullify all those statements about karma, about Gyan, and about the Mayavada philosophy, and then all this impersonalism, and then voidism, everything, and then he will relate or connect each and every sloka to the pure devotion. And to do the pure devotion, one have to actually start with chanting Hare Krishna. So that's why he will be very much, he is in everywhere, he is just saying that.
Krishna came as Mahaprabhu and he gave us that we should chant the Krishna's name.
Yes.
So he himself is Krishna is now.
Yeah, actually he himself, yeah.
He is Krishna and he is asking to chant.
Yeah, yes.
So when you said that Krishna is not asking us to chant.
No, means Krishna, when he is saying directly here, in Krishna, no, it is not like Krishna Arjuna Sangbad, you will not understand. That is what. Otherwise, if we are not get educated by the acharyas of who are specially coming from Lord Chaitanya, because Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, and he is teaching the same thing in a practical way. Otherwise, like, yes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thanks. I think it is Hare Krishna.